Hello everyone, I'm going to talk about how to make this beautiful lace pattern in this video. I'm going to call it the Mori Lace Pattern, and I found this stitch in the New Tunisian Crochet Contemporary Designs from Time Honored Traditions book by Dora Orenstein. And the reason I'm doing this is because the reason I'm making this video is because I have used this stitch in one of my patterns in the it's the ruffled water shawl. I have not used it exactly as it is. I have made a modified version of it, and this is what it looks like. So if you see that the spaces in this are sit right on top of one another in subsequent rows, but in this one the spaces are staggered, they don't sit on top of each other. So this one is in between these two. So I'm going to show you how to make these. So for this, you need to know how to make a foundation row, you need to know how to make simple stitches, full stitches, and how to do decreases. I have tutorials for all of them separately. I will add a link to all my videos in the description below if you want to look at them. But let's get started with this. So to begin, you need to make so I'm going to first do the original, the one that does not have the staggered spaces, so the ones where the spaces line up on top of each other. So I'm going to start with a decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, all the way till the end. So you need to make this with even number of stitches in every row, because this pattern is a combination of 2 stitches and 2 rows. So the pattern will start building up after you've made 2 rows. So this is the first row. The last stitch is made just like you normally would, and here is the return pass. So all the way till the beginning. So this is how it looks, just the first row. Now for the second row, you will make a simple stitch in the previous simple stitch, and then a full stitch in the chain space. So this was the chain space. You will make a full stitch here all the way through to the end. So a simple stitch, full stitch, simple stitch, full stitch, simple stitch, full stitch, and that's it. And then the last stitch, then just make the reverse pass as you normally would. So that makes one row of well, that makes 2 rows of the pattern. And this if you keep repeating these 2 rows, that will make this pattern where you have these spaces sitting on top of each other. So I'm just going to make another row of the same. So you decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, decrease. So in this, you just need to make sure that the second stitch of the decrease is the full stitch from the previous row. So the second stitch in the decrease is the full stitch from the previous row. So decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, and then the last stitch and the reverse pass. And then we'll repeat the second row. So that was simple stitch, full stitch in the chain space. Simple stitch, full stitch, simple stitch, full stitch, simple stitch, full stitch, simple stitch, full stitch, and this is the last one, and the last row, the last stitch. So I have the forward pass complete, and I'm going to make the reverse pass with a chain and yarn over, pull through 2 all the way till the beginning. So here it is. So you can see that these spaces are lined up on top of each other, and I'm going to now make 2 rows where I'll show you how to stagger these spaces. So for that you need to make sure that the full stitch from the previous row is your first stitch in the decrease. So this one is my full stitch here. It should be the first of the decrease. So I'm going to make a simple stitch here, and then I'm going to make a decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, decrease, yarn over, decrease. Okay, so now we will be left with 1 stitch in the end, so we'll make a simple stitch there, and last stitch. Just go ahead and make the reverse pass just as you normally would. And this is how it looks. I'm going to complete that staggered part by making that second row. So now we'll make simple stitches in all the simple stitches and full stitches in all the spaces. So simple stitch, simple stitch, full stitch, simple, full, simple, full, simple, full, simple, full, and there's a simple stitch here, so make a simple stitch and then the last stitch, and I'm going to make the reverse pass. So here is how it is. So if you see that these 2 rows, the spaces are on top of each other, and this one, they're staggered. So to make that staggered pattern, you need to repeat 4 rows. So the 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, those will be repeated to be able to get the staggered look. So that's pretty much it. I think it's a fairly simple pattern to make it. The stitches are very easy. If you understand simple stitches, full stitches and decreases, then this is very easy to make. It creates a very breathable pattern fabric, and I I have made this using fingering weight yarn. This is worsted weight. I actually really like it in this as well, but I have made it using fingering weight yarn, and that that came out beautiful as well. So if you try it out, please tell me how it goes for you. And if you're looking for other tutorials, you can check out my other videos, and subscribe if you would like to get notifications for any other videos I upload.